Let there be peace and love. Welcome to Satsang. In reality, where there is a form, there is a lie, a fraud. Where there is a name, there is a fraud. It's radical. So you know which side to take if you want to run, which is non-running, but if you want to liberate yourself from names and forms. And if you take a form or a name, know that it belongs to the appearance. It appears, it disappears. So no substance in it. While who you really are as this substance, as this reality you cannot lose, you cannot throw away, because you are it. And I wish that those who have seen Nisargadatta Maharaj yesterday in the DVD, that they see it's a lose of time, of energy, and it's the delay of the mind, so a trap to try to solve things which is not the real thing. It will never help towards realization. And so that much he shows is radicality, because there is no point not to be radical. It doesn't help, actually. And one going with the mind is always making a compromise. So he has to know it. Maybe give himself some holidays in compromise, but if he wants to be real, he has to hear that it is the mind, it is apparent. While in reality there is no mind, everything is that. exactly. It's good for me.
It's maybe a bit theoretical question, but from what I understand, using the mind in the world is not a problem.
Yeah.
Still, some professions, some lifestyles, can you, like a scientist or I don't know what, or a general,
Yeah.
can you imagine that they also go for realization, or is it?
They can, but then they will at least give a moment to try to solve that, as they give moments to try to solve their problems. But a scientific who only goes through the problem of his studies, obviously he doesn't run after liberation.
So it's about how to do the profession, not about what profession, like
It's
how much space.
It's how to think of who you are. You can have any profession. It is not an hindrance. Because even if you have a cool life, you have nothing much to do, and so anyway the mind is busy. Anyway. So it's not about that. It's about to see what do you know about your real self. But it's always the same. For that one who realized himself, whatever he does doesn't matter at all. Now, for a one who is searching, he has to dedicate some time to solve that problem. He cannot be swallowed only by the affairs of the world. But if he does, doesn't matter what he does. Besides. Generally, the scientific people of high levels, they are in that branch because they hope to know the secret of this universe, or something which is not obvious. So it's their path. And in fact, a few have this answer that are quite similar to what we hear. There is nothing, if there is an observer, things go on changing and so on. No? And yet, they don't apply it to their own individual. Because they may take the risk then to drop the path they took if they find it in a different way. The attachment is there also.
Do you give a holiday for your own self?
I did.
To go with the mind.
My mind has an ID, yeah.
Holiday.
Holiday.
Ah, holiday!
Yeah.
I thought ID. Identity card. Okay. Holiday. Yeah, I do.
Is it a state?
I don't reply to you. If it was a state, what? Where is the fear to lose what? That's why it's very important not only to see what is the mind, you see. So you don't need to remove the mind. You just have to know what it is. And if you see it is of an unreal nature, where is the fear? Where's the fear? So there is no question about holidays or not. So I reply this way. Never forget that it is the mind which makes differences. It's the mind. Huh? But as a joke, I reply like this because sometimes it is without anything and sometimes it is with things. Maybe I should not joke. It's not You see, when the mind doesn't question anymore, yeah? When the mind doesn't question anymore, then nothing matters. It's when the mind has still some reality looking like that the subject of the mind is that it's very important to not to delude oneself. Yeah.
It's like for the first time I feel really defeated. I don't know.
You know that I rejoice always when I hear that. The mind is defeated. I will not say hallelujah, but but don't remain as somebody defeated. Somebody is with the mind. That was the story, the movie of the mind. And what remains, don't allow the mind to touch it. Just for now. Yes, something more.
No.
No? But you told me that already before.
It was not.
No, but there is no more.
Oh yeah.
How come? Huh?
I don't know.
No, you should know why.
Maybe I will come again. I don't know.
Huh?
Maybe it will come again. I don't know.
Then you will surely come again to ask questions, as important questions.
Oh. Okay.
You can ask if we might as well today, but that's not important. Have you any important questions still? No. We are on the 17th of November 2017. He said no. So from now, all your questions, I'll take it very lightly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel very emotional since few days, and I don't know how to get rid of
Rid of that.
rid of that.
Emotional when you sit?
And
Whenever.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm just fed up of this state, of this thing,
But you have not been always like this.
but with you it's so easy. In 1 second it's dropped, but then it's coming back.
Because you have not seen that it will pass. You see, if you look at it, if you are hypnotized by it, if you think it has a meaning, then of course it stays more than normal. This is the trick. If you think it means something, then you are caught. Does it mean something about really who you are? No. It's a season, a rainy season.
Ganga, I am very hungry.
About what? About what?
Oh, sorry, I just asked if I am very hungry, like now.
A menu you want to eat?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now I have some food, but sometimes I don't have with me.
I think I will eat you up. Don't ask those questions, please. Please. It's not the place.
Mm.
It's not the place.
Why?
You are spoiling the whole beauty of nothingness.
Mm.
Because I cannot solve that.
But it's also a suffering when I'm hungry and I don't have food.
You have to investigate about the self, but you investigate about the life, and that surely you can starve sometimes, because life doesn't give real answers. But you still believe in that, so go your way and investigate. You have to put more questions into yourself and not only asking questions without any substance to anybody. You have also to think by yourself. Okay? Okay, good. Here it's very easy because you do a few kilometers to ask this here and there phenomenal questions. But you see, you would never have gone to India, for example, to ask this question. While those who say, I am angry to know myself, I search, please could you help me? You go on the other side of the world for that. Just to show you the motor of the questions. And satsang deals not with phenomena. It removes the idea one is a phenomena. And so questions from there, from that search, from that thirst and hunger, can be put, and it will be very happily replied.
Ganga,
Yeah.
Yesterday video was Nisargadatta
Yeah.
told that before conception there is the stateless state of Parabrahman, he called it.
Yeah.
And then the Mool Maya appears called I am.
Yeah.
And the bearded guy, who want to ask it how and why it's happened.
Yeah.
And he's thinking that maybe the karma is the reason that the Mool Maya appears, or ignorance. So I know the intellect cannot grasp anyhow this, but of course, if there is any light or answer for this question, I would like to know why this Mool Maya happens, the identification with the I am, why they came out.
But first of all, I tell you, to realize yourself, you have to know that you are never born. You are never born. And what is born is just a mirage, an expression of yourself, but which goes on changing. That's all. And nobody would even mention the self if there was no expression. would not have been seen at all. And I liked very much to want us to get used to his language, but it's very strong when he says the beingness, when the beingness is born, you see? And he's right, because the first expression of what is exactly I am, and then it multiplies in some I am this and that. So, if you see what he means, it's more than great. So, to apply it to yourself, if you think that you are someone, it's because you are still in the movie, in the expression. And if you can at all once utter, I'm unborn, I'm ever unborn, and what is seen is apparently a reality, apparently, then the work is done. That is the difference between the one who realized and the other not. Everybody has this real nature. It is this real nature. But some refer to themselves as an individual, as an expression, born expression, and the others refer themselves as that. And that's all. But everybody is that.
Ganga.
No, there is no. We are not in Amsterdam. The mic. Okay. It's gone.
My question was if you could tell something about recognizing that this apparent body-mind is not real, still in this time and space it has a life, and is it possible to live this life from the reality, in not from the so-called person,
Then
likes
yes.
and dislikes.
But why do we call wise the wise men and women? Why do we speak of Buddhas? Because they know themselves, not as a knowledge of the mind, of course. They know themselves, and yet if their body is not yet dead at that moment, and they have a life. That's why it's important to read about the life of those guys, great guys. And yesterday you were there? Did you see?
Yeah.
Did you see? Nisargadatta Maharaj? In fact, he's not even quiet.
But he does nice thing. I would like to do this every morning, the cleaning and the flowers, and have a life.
It's not the point.
Like this.
It's not the point.
Yeah.
You know, he has a life. You were speaking of having a life. The life continues this way for him, this way for someone else, this way. Everybody, if you see, everybody had a life. And if you were a monk before, you continue generally your ways of monk, or maybe not. You just saw, and then and so on. I mean, everybody, yeah.
Is there a choice?
About the life,
We have the one choice that you.
there is
Don't
no
step
choice for
into
the
the
life
storm.
afterwards. There is no choice. Generally, it continues as it was, or it completely changes. There is no choice there. But in the life before realization, for the one who still seeks, I mean, there is a choice to liberate oneself. Yes. So you often, I think all the time you ask this question. Probably I didn't reply yet well. So
No.
what is still obscure with
I
my
think-
answer?
The thing is, I got. Maybe I have a concept still that if you do all your focus on the one reality, then all the other things, this comes from the Christian things, but all the other things come towards you, and you don't have to care about how do I earn my money, how do I...
But
and
the
this
one who
machine-
cares is the self also. The one who doesn't care or the one who cares, it's the self also.
And it's the person.
It's the self. It all comes from the self, all is the self. You could see things like this too.
Mm-hmm. I can see it, and still the question I think which comes back is, where do I start acting? I got unsure in this person when it comes to acting. There comes something which says, is that right, or is this right?
But this is the mind.
Yes.
And it is the education, and it is your background which will tell this is right, this is wrong, and it will be different in some other part of the world. It is the mind only. The mind. And the world is the mind.
And how do I give this life, this mind? I hang it somewhere, and I stay true to what is, and not go in the mind.
You don't go into your mind in order to realize who you are. You go in your mind to sustain this body or whatever is your circumstances.
I just had the picture when it's a child who has some toys, and you have a horse, and you have a cow, and you got some person, so you have some qualities as a person, everyone. So I got like a rabbit or a cow, and this person has certain qualities,
Of the
and some
rabbit.
not. So I have to play this role in this form, and sometimes I think this is the thing which comes back. I feel this person has limits,
Well,
limitations. It's shy and it doesn't do this, and that's not the point at all.
Yeah.
It's it doesn't matter. And still I wish sometimes I would experience this vastness which I'm aware of also in this person.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
I come born as a little I'm not born.
You can have experiences. If you like them so much, you can still have some experiences
Yeah.
about vastness, but it will not help you. It will not help you because it happens still to this, as you say, those little persons.
Mhm.
That's what I say. You go urgently, even taking with the price to negate everything. As long as you cannot negate everything, then you are that. And then let us see if there is any question left or any obscure corner. Not revealed. Let us see. But if you take here and there some glimpse, it's real, or some vastitude that's real and all that, and then you cannot make the puzzle. It's impossible. Because the vastness and whatever looks like true is still a piece of the puzzle of this apparent world that you are not. So just see first who you are. Neglect whatever experiences you may get because it feeds the reality of I as an individual. And then let's see.
So while I'm here, I don't think about how will I earn my money later on.
But you come to satsang,
yes.
or you come to
No, not
solve
here.
your problem of life?
I come to satsang.
Then you leave that aside for a while. You made this trip for satsang.
Yeah.
Yes. And maybe you see, like, when there is a break in the mind, maybe fantastic openings are there afterwards. More light is showered upon other things. But at least if you come to satsang, really solve this first.
Yeah.
Great. It was a good question to ask. So don't try to solve everything here. Solve the essential. Are you still searching? Must be.
More about how to earn my money. That's stupid, but it's true. I don't.
No, but then it means what? You solve, you know who you are. If not referring to an experience, then why should you ask about? You can worry about how to live, of course it can happen in the life, but why should you bring that to satsang? You know normally it's not a place.
Yeah. Yes.
So something, I'm not sure, is still something is obscure.
It's only the place because it's the most powerful thing which gets me back in this little me person who doesn't know, and I'm not. I know better, and
yeah, but then it means you have some experiences towards realization, but you are not realized. I'm sorry to say, but it's very clear. Otherwise, there would not be all this mind. And when there is a mind, it is very clear that it's about object or situation to solve, but you cannot mix with the search of the self, with what's real. You see? Try to see all what you speak about, even though you may say yes, but really see better. It's about apparent things, it's about this body-mind. And what is indicated here is just to cut off a second with all that, in order that the self reveals itself. And then after that, I never heard a wise, even if he had some difficulty for food and all that, I never heard him going to another sage to ask, can you solve, how to solve this problem? It's not possible. Yeah?
I understand.
Okay. Good to understand. But then will you come back with the same question? You really try, since you are here, try to see this, what I expressed to you. And try but really in you, not to come to satsang, not because you cannot, but not to come to satsang with this question because it's solved. I don't say that you will have a lot of money, but it's solved because you know it belongs to this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Ganga, I have a question about the split second.
Yeah, I
You said-
understand that.
So you said that so the mind has to stop
Mm.
to it looks like the mind don't allow the self to reveal itself.
That's right. If the mind is active, is and taken for it as reality, then there is the mind, active mind, sure.
Yes, but it seems that the mind has a power on the self. You understand what I mean? It does not allow the self to reveal itself, so it means it's something I cannot
That
catch.
is,
You know what I mean?
yeah, sure. But who says that? The one who is powered by the mind. No, I said yes to your thing, now you reply to me. Who says that the mind is more powerful than the self? Who says it?
That's not what I want to say, but I.
Yeah, the I.
Yeah.
Yeah. But who told you to place yourself in I? Your real nature is the self.
Yeah.
And the I is an expression. And now, if you only have the references of the mind as a I am somebody, you will speak like this.
It's an illusion. So.
It's an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
So drop it. Drop that extraordinary conclusion.
Oh, I can do that.
Huh?
I don't know, I can like that, you know.
No,
Why
but
this question?
that's why you are not vigilant not to follow a thought.
Yeah, it's always the same.
Ah, always the same because you are not vigilant.
Yeah,
You want to be free or not?
of course.
Of course. I mean, it's a great, of course. You know, one thought.
Because
One
the mind,
thought.
Yeah, always the mind.
Even about the self.
Yeah.
And then, oh God, I want to realize myself. When you just are there and, okay, you don't listen. You don't catch it. But I will have to remind you again and again so that it really clicks to you. Because it clicks, but the mind says it clicks. It has to click before the mind speaks.
So that is a self-realization. Say the mind, yeah. Of course.
Yeah, but you want, no? You want to know your real self.
Yeah.
You are it. You are it. Why don't you see? Why? Tell me now. What's there? What's there going on which makes it not obvious? I don't know. Just now.
The mind.
Yeah. And the mind say, I don't know. And then if you still believe in that thought, you are in a kind of torpor, no man's land. I don't know. It's still a thought. Okay. Just to show you what's a thought. The mind, the self cannot be realized by a thought.
It's clear.
It's clear. I think I have to give you the date also. 17/11/2017, he said it's clear. I'm alive. You will become the Swami when it's clear forever.
I'm already back.
Yes! Again. Great. So, when you say that, you know you tell the truth?
I cannot know.
This is a thought.
So I know.
Yeah, it's exactly, you see the duality of the mind. I don't know or I know. I don't know, I know. Excellent. As long as you will be balancing, swinging between I don't know, I'm in confusion, and I know, as long as you are there, you will search. Why you give still importance to what swings?
So another thing, the karma, it belongs to the swings, what you say?
It belongs to the swings, so it doesn't exist.
There is
How lucky we are.
no. Yes.
Yes, please.
Does the swinging has to stop, or can it continue? Like in the day that you read your email and sometimes angry, sometimes happy. Can you just
I will
continue?
give you an image. You have been in India?
Yes,
There is a fan on the sailing, yeah?
yeah.
They are there. You remove the plug, what happens to the activate fan?
At a certain moment it stops.
Yeah, but certain moment it goes on.
Yeah,
Okay.
that also.
It's a reply to your
Okay.
question.
So I don't have to do anything about it.
You can't.
No, that's it. Because I was.
Just be concerned to abide in yourself.
Yeah. And that is where I want to stay and want to give my attention to. But it also goes to the back.
Okay.
No, it's not okay because I don't.
It's not okay. Something is not okay, but still.
Yeah, exactly. It is. Yeah, that movement.
It's the body-mind. It's what appears.
Yeah.
Are you that in reality? Say the right answer for once. It would be great.
It is changing. So, from that sense, I would say no, but I cannot really.
You don't want to
Say
lie. You don't even want to be unfaithful to your mind.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you have to be one split second unfaithful to your mind.
Yeah.
Have a good image again. You see, you bind yourself to the mind like a mistress, but it's the terrible mistress because it makes you believe in karma and she's there in every karma. You imagine. So be freed from that. Belief. Yes. Yes.
Yes, what?
Ganga, thank you for that sentence. I don't know confusion. I know why I give it any importance. Thank you.
Yes. I come back to this question because this question was already there a few satsang ago, you know. So I can see how the mind insists, you know, to keep the place. It's incredible. Don't want to disappear or to say it.
Unless your real need to realize is there, it will always keep its so-called place. Yeah.
Yeah, it will be so powerful that the
It
mind
is not. It is not powerful.
So,
That's why I insist. Don't store anything. If you have nothing to say, really very good. But don't store a question. Just ask, even if I make joke of you. It's not powerful, it is just that we had this habit to rely on all those things, you see, otherwise. And even if it looks like, oh, you have to change your language, it helps.
yeah.
You asked me a name, huh? Okay, I have one. Yashodhara. You know who is Yashodhara?
No.
Ooh. The mother of Krishna. I don't have any more names.
But Ganga, can you write it down for me?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
For men,
Yes. There's a paper in here.
yeah?
Yeah.
The paper?
Yeah.
I have a paper here too, in case. And I even have that. Okay. Ah. Maybe not that great. You have better? It's okay. Okay. So, he has to call you like this now.
I said I would. I will. It will be an honor.
But you keep your name.
No, we agreed on it. That it's
Yeah, it's all fine.
Ganga.
Yeah.
Again, I want to say I came here for satsang,
Yes.
and it was really a challenge
Yeah.
because I don't have
I know.
means,
I know.
and I feel also ashamed even that I bring this here with them.
No, it's okay. Don't feel. It's okay. I know that. I know it.
And maybe I can just leave it here now, and I
Yes.
finish this. And,
Yes.
and I
would
trust.
Yes, trust.
Yes.
Yes. Because your mind will trouble you too much.
Yes.
Yeah.
It always comes
That's
back.
lovely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Please. You can.
I'm very grateful, happy to be here.
Yes.
Yes.
Ganga?
Yeah, yeah.
So, whatever appears, it's like pain or bliss, it's all an expression
Yeah.
from the self, so
Yeah.
I don't need to search for it because whatever it is, it's not.
Yes. Excellent.
Yeah. Ah.
So keep quiet here.
I can see all this, everything going on, but it doesn't matter. I can just repeat, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you already said it.
Yeah.
I say that to be vigilant, not to be fascinated again. Excellent.